Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am here today to review a very special book. You'll have to forgive me because I forgot my glasses, so I know this isn't going to be a serious book review without them. Just pretend. Today I am reviewing a book by another YouTube author, part of my BookTube review series. And I'm doing this to support and promote other booktubers. I love YouTube and I love writing and I love books, so hence my new series. Today's review is going to be an extra special one. The author was published in People's Magazine as the sexiest man alive in Maine. You may recognize him from a series finale of Catfish. He has over 18,000 followers on Instagram. I have no idea how many followers he has on Snapchat. And he's also one of my best friends in the whole wide world, and that is Zach Miller. I'll put in a picture of him here. Sorry, Mona, you're about to be covered up. And if you're a follower of Zach, you know this, but he recently put out his very first book, Volatile. Now the reason I'm doing this review, obviously, is because I wanted to review this book. I think it's fantastic, but I'll get into more of that later. But also, I have a very exciting announcement. This Saturday, Zach and I will be doing my and his very first live chat. So more details of that will come later as far as what time exactly, but it's going to be Saturday, February 24th. As I said, more details will come to that, but it's looking like what we're going to do is we're going to do half of the live chat on my channel and half of the live chat on Zach's channel, which I'll also link down below so you can check out his videos. Very, very excited. It's probably going to be a bit on the longer end. I don't know if it's going to be an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, so tune in for all of it, tune in for some of it, and also please leave questions down below that you want to ask Zach. We will be talking about his book, his life, really anything, so don't hold back. But first I wanted to review his book. So I do want to say also, and I'll mention this at the end again, but this is a limited edition. There's only 1,000 copies. I have copy number 4. So if you do want to get a copy of this, I highly recommend you do it sooner than later before they are sold out. Now let's start first with the cover. I love this cover. This is heavy duty. It's definitely a coffee table size collection of art. So I should mention first off the bat that this is a book, but it's a collection of photographs. It's a autobiographical collection of photos. I don't know the exact art terminology. He's gonna make so much fun of me when he sees this. But really what Zach used this for was a platform to tell his story. Now, not many people know this, they do now, but Zach has had a rough upbringing. He was adopted at the age of 5, I believe, and his birth name is, he reveals it for the first time in this series, but it's Vermelia. And I love, first of all, how on the cover, I don't even know if it's gonna pick up on camera. It kind of does. But he does it sort of like an echo on the cover. And so every single photo that goes into this collection is highly analyzed. Every detail is planned. Even the order of the photographs are plotted out. So just to give a little bit of the own background that I know, Zach was adopted at the age of 5, and he came from a very abusive family. He was born in Oakland, California, I believe. And I don't even, as his best friend, know the exact details of his abuse, but he was extremely severely physically, mentally, and sexually abused. He has 2 other full siblings, one of which he was adopted with, so she remains close in his life, and he does have an older brother who he, I believe, keeps contact with, but was not adopted with him and his sister. So, as you can imagine, Zach has quite a story to tell. He also came out as gay in 2010, so we were freshmen in college, and I did not know beforehand because he always told me he was straight. We even dated when we were in 6th grade, so fun fact for you. Feel free to ask us questions about our relationship. So they say you can't remain friends with your exes, but so the only written words in his book are his introduction, and I'll read it out loud for you guys. I think it's really impactful, and I know he put a lot of effort into saying and wording what exactly he wanted his introduction to say. He wanted it to be brief, he wanted it to be powerful. I'll just read it for you. This selection of photographs documents an effort to revisit a history of abuse. It is a confrontation with an ugly slurry of complex emotions. It is my tormented soul exposed. It's undeniably volatile. Now, I'm not going to show every image, but I do want you to be aware that this is a collection of art, and so there are some components where he wants to be expressive, and so there is some nudity in here. But I think that goes with the theme of really opening himself up. The collection really starts with his public portrayal. As I said, he's a little bit of a social media D-list. I don't even know what you say. He has a lot of followers on social media. He had a lot of followers on Twitter, but he recently took that down. He has a new one. So we start off with the surface view of Zach. So this is what the public has seen. You know, he's open and ready for us, but we see this also. This is one of my favorite photographs of him with many different hats. They all have the same framing, the same theme, very much a echo of social media and Instagram, and yet we see Zach's mouth is covered. And so those two photos are really the only outside photos, and then we jump right into his expressive photos. What I really took from this was, with each page that turns, we really are diving deeper and deeper into Zach's past. And I just feel like it's so well done. You know, not just about on the outward how he's portrayed by social media and what he's gone through with that, because he has had some struggles with haters or whatever you want to call them. You know, when you do reach a certain amount of followers, you're gonna have some kickback, especially, and I'm sure he'll talk about this, but in the gay community there seems to be more tolerance of sexual harassment for some reason. You know, Zach is very conservative with his love life, with his dating life, and yet because he is gay and because he posts pictures of himself, he is targeted very frequently on Snapchat, on Instagram with, you know, he's shown me some of the comments, and it's something. So, you know, part of his struggle is both with sexual harassment he's faced both now and as a child, and also growing up in rural Maine, what it means to be gay and to hide that homosexuality because of the homophobia that is still very much an issue. I know in this country, but in rural Maine is prominent, unfortunately. I'll just flash some of these photos up. I don't want to obviously show everyone because I really think they're better enjoyed in the high quality print that they are printed on. But he really makes a lot of use of angles, both soft and hard angles. And there's also a lot of really beautiful abstract pictures like this. And I do want to mention all of his photos I believe you can buy as a print. I will have to double check with him on that. But you know, I'm not somebody who is super crazy into art or museums or photography, but even I mean, I knew I was going to buy this book to support him, but even I was drawn to a lot of the photographs, and they just were so powerful. Like the fact that he could just in one picture with no words tell such a story, which is really what he's done here. As I mentioned, he uses a lot of angles, he uses a lot of color to tell the story. The color, each page transitions really oh God, I thought I ripped it. The pages are durable, they're hard to rip. I know some photos that he's published in the past have been quite popular on his Instagrams. It's really hard to put into words a collection of photos. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but honestly I feel like each picture tells a whole story. So I highly recommend this collection of photography. It really will open your mind to hopefully something that you've never personally had to deal with, if you want to see a really beautiful, unabashed portrayal of abuse and reflection of hardships in your life, both in social media and in history of abuse. He does a really great job of, depending on how you decide to look into this book, I feel like it can tell you so many different things about his life. You know, you can look into it with his struggles with homosexuality, you can look into it with his struggles with child abuse, you can look into it with his struggles with being a public figure, and it really does a great job of capturing the emotions of all of those. So yeah, that was just my quick review. Obviously there will be way more to come during our live chat on Saturday. And I do want to mention, just because I know it has been some criticism already, the price of the book, it is on the pricier side. Unfortunately, that is due to the fact that they cost over $200 alone to print. And each photo is printed in extremely high quality. The paper is high quality. So really what you're getting is a huge collection of individual portraits that, you know, the portraits run like $30 to $50. I'm not even sure how much a single portrait is, but you get the entire collection. So really it's a deal when you think of it that way. Zach is a photographer, he's an artist, he did everything himself. He was the model, the photographer, the editor. Sorry if I seem really defensive, but I just hate to see it when an author of any kind is criticized for just trying to put something of value out into the world and then being attacked for that. So if you have any questions for Zach that you would like me to ask him, he said he was willing to talk about pretty much everything. He left a pretty open slate. You can ask him anything from how he got so many Instagram followers to just, I don't know what his favorite color is. I used to know it. It used to be raspberry. I don't know what it is anymore. Like a raspberry maroon. I don't think that's his favorite color anymore. It might be like navy blue. I'll have to ask him myself. Now I'm curious. More information will be to come as far as what time. Like I mentioned, we're playing with either middle day for the lighting or evening so more people can watch. Let me know if you have a preference. We'll definitely keep that in consideration. I hope you guys tune in. I believe we're going to start it on my channel, so when you tune in, I'll announce the time and you can watch me live. You're gonna see how many times I say It's a lot. And Zach is just a really wonderful person to talk to. There's gonna be, I'm sure, a lot of laughter. I cannot guarantee we're going to stay on track, but it will at least be entertaining. And I will see you guys on Tuesday. And I will see you guys on Tuesday when I show you guys, I thought I would do a tour of my planners. So I have bullet journals and regular journals and a planner. I use them each for different things, and I thought I would give you guys a tour of that. I was actually gonna do that today, and I forgot them at work. So I switched things out a little bit, hence the delayed upload time. Alright, I will see you guys later, and don't forget to leave questions down below.